contract, I guess, for them to get started and get moving forward on the paving project. I knew that was gonna happen. Anybody need any discussion on that?
Not this time.
Not this time.
Do we need a motion to accept that?
Make a motion to accept the triad agreement, new paving.
A second? All in favor?
Aye.
The personnel policy.
I emailed everybody, the page that I made changes on today. So,
What's,
anybody has any questions?
what brought up as far as changing the personnel policy?
The floating holiday,
Yeah.
the guys asked if, I guess they had actually talked to y'all or sent y'all a message too about Christmas Eve. Because instead of, the way that the personnel policy was written up, they got Christmas Day off, and then there was a floating holiday that they had to take the week of Christmas. But what I was told when I started, it didn't specifically state it, they couldn't take that floating holiday on the same day.
Right.
And both of them would like to be able to have Christmas Eve off. So I changed the personnel policy to say Christmas Eve and Christmas Day instead of a floating holiday. So I took the floating holiday out and put in Christmas Eve. And then I also added Juneteenth. And I added Thanksgiving Day to the deputy clerk because she just had 3 days. And it was the 4th of July, Christmas, and New Year's. And we're closed 2 days the week of Thanksgiving. And I thought it would be more fair for her to at least get paid for 4 of those days instead of being made to only work 3 days. So you guys can agree with that, not agree with that, but those are the changes that I made.
So as far as adding the Juneteenth, we had already had a conversation that we weren't gonna add any more days on that side of it.
When do we have that conversation?
I'm still looking as far as the time, but we did have that conversation as far as the board members that we weren't gonna add any more on that side of it. And then as far as the deputy clerk, I was not aware, because I did not read all of the time off and all that stuff on down there, as far as I didn't realize that a part-time employee received full-time benefits on that side of it, especially when we have 2 part-time employees and only one of them is receiving benefits like that. So first of all, I don't feel that that's fair.
The deputy marshal we didn't have one when that personnel policy was created, and nobody brought up adding paid vacation days to his, and he's paid salary, so it doesn't really matter what days he takes off, he gets paid the same no matter what.
But there's still the
But that
documentation.
personnel policy was already made when I took over, and there was 3 paid holidays for the deputy clerk always.
Right.
I didn't add those.
Right.
That was it's always been that way.
Anybody have any input else?
But last year, the guys, stuff that they wanted to do on Juneteenth, they couldn't do because everybody else was off or closed.
I was working.
Now, you have your own company.
No, I actually worked for somebody else too,
Well-
and I was working as far as on that side of it.
You know, and so that's why I added it.
Yeah.
But it's for you guys to vote on. You either say yes or no.
I would like to see it redrafted as far as Juneteenth taken back off, but I mean, I don't have a problem as far as the part-time, if you wanna add another day on that side of it. But I feel that what's fair for one, it needs to be wrote in there as far as for the other one too, as far as documented. Because I don't
All it
think-
would be for Terrell would be tracking. It wouldn't change his pay whatsoever. It changes Trish's because she's hourly.
But if it's not documented in here, I would like to have it documented on that side of it. Because It doesn't have to be documented for her either, cause you can fill in the time clock on that side of it too.
Not with the State Board of Accounts, they're gonna say, why did you pay
Well,
her?
if the
She
State
didn't-
Board of Accounts pulls his time card and it shows that
He
he did
doesn't have
work,
a time card, Michael, he's
But he's still-
hourly.
they still keep Carrie's salary too. I could say, hey Carrie, I need hours that you worked, and he's gonna print something off.
But that's for you guys, the State Board of Accounts don't ask me questions about their time.
I'd
I'm
like
talking
to,
about me, what
Right,
I'm
no, I-
responsible for and what my audit is.
I understand that.
And they don't salary people, as if it's written in there that their salary, that's it, they don't ask me any other questions. Cause salary isn't, except for Kerry, it is in his policy how many hours he's required to work,
Right,
but that's it.
but Terrell has hours that he's required to work also. I mean, as far as to fulfill his
I-
salary on that, because same way with Kerry, as far as he is salary on that
Is
side
that in
of
the
it.
the police personnel policy, how many hours the deputy marshal has to work?
I'd have to pull it up on my computer to look down on it.
But that's all the State Board of Accounts cares about, because he's salary. That's up to Kerry to make sure he fulfills his hours.
Right,
But as far as my part goes,
yeah,
that's it. I
So
don't have
that's
to
just
make
like
sure they work their hours because I'm not their boss.
So it's basically a department policy, like the police department policy or.
Yes, it's
Right.
at the end of the personnel policy, there's one that actually says police personnel policy.
right.
The last few changes,
And
or
it,
pages, I
and
mean.
it states that he is not eligible for it in that part of it.
I've never read the.
I mean, I did
police
read
manual.
that part of it, yes, but I mean, as far as when you ask questions on his hours, I don't know. I know what it's set up as far as what verbally has been stated as far as the 16 hours
Right,
on that side of it, but I do not know what it states in the old documentation on that side of it. I just would like to make sure that everybody's covered, whether it be you, me.
to be
Them,
completely
him.
honest, I don't know if there's even a deputy marshal been added to the policy, because I've never changed anything on the police department's personnel
Well, it
policy.
says deputy marshal
Oh.
that is not eligible for those benefits. But I feel that if the one's getting it, then the other one should be, it should be listed on there just to cover you, cover anybody else, cover him on that side of it.
So it's up to you guys whether you want to accept the changes I made, if you want to change the changes I made. Cause I close my office on Juneteenth anyway, so
Yeah, you, I
No.
mean, yeah,
don't really make no hiding her hair to me.
me personally, I'd like to see Juneteenth removed again, then I would like to see, go ahead and approve for 4th day on that. But then I would also like the changes made to cover the deputy marshal as far as him being covered also as far as for the same days.
Could we, if the guys want Juneteenth, could we take, take one away, either like Black Friday or their birthday, one day, their birthday month? Could we
No.
replace those?
That's
Me
up
and Dave
to,
already said we gotta take one away, we'd rather just not get Juneteenth.
It's not taking one away.
No, that's what he's saying. He's saying if we wanted Juneteenth, take a holiday away.
Right.
We'd rather just, if that's one of the few holidays we work and it's just one of those where it's just a hard day to get a hold of some people, then it is what it is. But we'd rather,
But you're still able to do your job during the town, as far as dailies and all that stuff, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was just this past year with her being closed, and then we had a couple people start calling and saying, well, we called the city building and you guys are closed. Well, office is closed, like, sorry about you. But like I said, we wanted that Christmas Eve, and then if you guys are gonna take one away, we'd rather just not get Juneteenth, for being honest. So.
Well, it's not taking anything away,
I
it's
know.
just flip
Well,
flop.
that's what he was,
Right, I mean,
Yeah.
You'd still have
it'd be the
to.
Right.
same amount of days,
That
but
you have
they
right
don't
now.
wanna
Yeah, it just-
switch.
yeah.
They would rather just leave Juneteenth off than switch out a different day for it.
exactly, yeah.
How do we wanna word that?
I'll change it and send you what I changed. Cause I didn't actually print it off either anyway, cause I didn't wanna waste the ink and then it not get passed, so. You can table it and I will fix what Michael said and
Put it on,
I mean, as
Well,
long as
you
everybody
gotta-
else agrees.
you can motion to accept the changes that Michael asked to be put in there and vote on it, so that way
All we
it'll
gotta do
be
is
in
sign it.
effect for Christmas Eve.
okay, can I get a motion to accept the changes that Michael requested, or suggested, I should say, not requested, suggested?
I motion we accept the suggested changes that Michael offered.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Alright,
Unfinished business, PTO and comp time. Who's
That's
that you?
Mr. Gray. Nope.
yeah. Yeah, we'll just forgo it. So,
Okay.
I'm not gonna have a discussion over it, cause it's gonna be a very long one, so.
Oh.
I just soon let it go.
Okay then,
All right.
that's,
If everybody else wants to do something, go ahead.
I don't know, look, I'm in the dark on this, but anyway, department reports, is there anything that
Just the stuff that we need to vote on.
needed voted on? The trees at the park were already done last month, correct?
no,
No.
it got tabled because the invoice did not include stump grinding, so it got tabled.
But it actually did though, did it not?
What?
Did
Well, that's
We
what,
did the emergency one,
Right.
where we just picked up the limb, but then that tree with that limb came off of is what we're trying to get cut down because it's just gonna cause another
that's the one thing that we tabled last
accident,
month.
whether it's a
Okay.
gazebo, whether it's a fence, or whether it's it falls and a car's sitting there, you know, whatever it might be.
Because if you remember, Michael was reading it and it said, this quote does not include
No.
stump grinding.
Yeah.
Right,
I didn't read it.
somebody did. It's the stump cut to just above ground level. With all the.
I just
debris.
listened to
Right.
the meeting
Right.
Saturday.
So,
Why don't you just go in order? I have
well,
all
I
the
just
papers
happened to
in
see it,
order.
it was the first thing that caught my eye. The water truck. We had that discussion last month, and he was only able to get two.
Well, I got a third quote from A to B finally. So, top
Inland,
3 pages.
Oh,
they're Norton Eaton boys too.
They were the ones that fixed the,
It's sway
page-
arm on the front end of it.
Yeah.
That's not part of what's being worked on, is it?
No,
Okay.
it's just the front shocks and the steering dampener.
okay, Speedy Pete wants total of 744.27.
Which would actually be 711 without the tax. 'cause he's got
Oh,
tax
yeah,
on that.
sorry.
This is
I didn't
the
see that.
utility one, right?
Yes.
Yes. They got a quote from Wetzel. They've got 922, but it would be minus 31, so 8 something. Cause they got tax on that one also. And then A and B was 488.34.
And he already had the taxes off of it.
And he, no taxes at all on it. So,
Can he do the alignment?
No.
No,
A and B can't do alignment?
I don't think so.
Well, so here's the thing,
Cause
cause they didn't do it as far as when that sway arm was put on it, or whatever it was,
Yeah.
that part, they had to take it off.
Oh, he must
Well,
not
these-
have an alignment machine.
Yeah, and then Speedy Pete's doesn't do it either, do they?
I don't think so. 'Cause
do you know? If he's got alignment?
He's supposed to go look at the Explorer with, remember I mentioned with the possible alignment on the rear end?
Right,
He's supposed to look at it, so I mean, why would somebody look at it if they can't do it?
I was gonna say, with the equipment he's got in his garage, I think he does have an alignment.
I don't know. I really
I'd have
don't
to
know, but
call
he's
him
gonna-
and ask him.
He's gonna check the Explorer out to see if we actually need that piece on the back of the Explorer.
Yeah, he couldn't do the alignment on the 550 because he couldn't fit it.
No, I thought that was Hager's that couldn't fit it on there because they was gonna.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying though is he's the same way. He couldn't do the 550 alignment. And that's why he said when we were looking at getting alignment on it, when we did that
The
time.
utility
we had to
truck
go-
as big as the
No, it's
550.
only
No.
250.
Yeah, but the thing is though, there's no listing on here for alignment.
Yeah, I don't think they're in alignment neither.
The only
So,
one-
I mean,
The only one
yeah,
that has it listed is Ford.
which I wouldn't think
What's
with
the
those,
first one?
what they're
That's
gonna
what's
have.
gonna charge you for everything they can charge you.
Right, I don't think that what we're gonna have to have done on that will need an alignment. I guess if it does, it does.
It shouldn't.
Right.
So it looks like
A and B is the cheapest.
Mhm.
Make a motion for A and B to fix the water truck.
Second,
Second that.
all in favor?
Alright.
The trees at the park. Which we're back to 2166. Did they come in and add?
Yeah,
So if you
Yeah,
look at the
'cause
bottom, there's a 480 charge for the stuff
Okay.
grinding.
Gotcha. So, yeah, so they added 480, and that's both trees, right?
That's,
The
well,
two that
that's
are sitting
the,
right next to each other?
well, it's just the one that's
It
needed
just
done.
split.
It's the one that split and fell, so they already cut up what destroyed the gazebo.
So for 2166, and then the stump and everything will be gone.
Hello?
Don't everybody talk at once. Motion?
waiting on you to say motion. I'll make a motion to have Three Amigos remove the tree and stump at the park. I didn't do that
Second.
last time, did I?
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And that will be edit, just so you
Yes.
guys know in case anybody asks.
Just a heads
Water
up.
school.
They're supposed to be coming out here, hopefully next week to start getting all the trees cut down that's been approved, so.
Okay. What'd you say the next thing was?
Water school.
So
What?
this is,
Oh.
this is that new
School.
law, this is the new law that kinda went into effect this year. Pretty much, you're allowed to take the exam 3 times. Well, if you don't pass it on the 3rd time, you actually have to go to the classes. So, David took his ISP today. He missed it by 3 questions, but he improved by over 10% from last time. So, he's right there. He's saying he's probably gonna take the 3rd time by himself. Hopefully get
On the
it.
water side of the
That's on the sewer side.
sewer side.
Yeah.
But on the water side, I'm sitting 5 questions away right now. And if I don't pass it the next time, this is what we're gonna be looking at. But they got classes coming up starting in January. I was wanting to go ahead and just get into it.
Oh, they're
It's all
online.
online, yep. It'd be-
Through Alliance.
And it would be 400 because we're members. But pretty much once I would take if I took the school, I could actually take the DSS and then I could go ahead and take the WT3 as an apprentice. And then I could go ahead and pass the test and then wait come August and then we would just pay a $30 fee to have my operator's license. And then while doing this.
I
can
wanna
also-
say that when he told me how much it costs, I wanna say that maybe Chase took a class, cause that $300 for the classes, it just seems familiar.
I'm thinking that also.
I think that's what he did instead of doing that
Apprenticeship.
apprenticeship
Alright.
stuff, cause that was gonna cost way more money.
Yeah, I think the apprenticeship was like 2,800.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're confident that this will help you get that, your distribution and treatment, will it do both for both of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a class on both of them.
When
And
is
like-
the class?
So it starts, January 16th.
It's on the second page.
It runs every Thursday till 3:20.
How many days?
It's just one day a week. It's just on Thursdays. And it's for,
And that's online.
yep. So.
It's only 3 days?
It's one day a week.
Oh.
But it's,
It don't say that.
it
Oh,
does
it's
on
on-
the second
on
page.
Thursday, sorry.
It also says 9 to 3. It
My
says
bad.
9 to 3.
Did y'all?
It does say 9 to 3.
It
Yeah.
does.
Got some goofy juice for you here or something?
I fell like asleep. So can I get a motion for Walker to take the water operator exam prep courses?
I'll make a motion for Walker to take a class to help him.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Alright.
Aye. Parking area around the basketball court.
So you should have a gold star.
Yes, I had it, where'd it go?
So the first part is just up to the, poles that have the wire, guide wire through them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the little part underneath is if you guys wanted to do that extra section. After looking at it, I went ahead and gave Jeremy Creech with All About Asphalt a call. He said without looking at it, just going by the numbers, he said worst case scenario, we'd be at max 13.5 if we wanted to do
I
asphalt.
would say see if Jeremy come out and give us an actual quote on it. Because I know we don't have $27,000 for concrete.
So.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, we don't.
We did the quotes like you guys asked, so that's kind of, we saw it. We went ahead.
In the meantime,
calls.
We need to, I think David and you guys are ordering the blocks. The parking
So-
blocks.
Can I
yeah,
jump in on that real quick? Seal Masters donated 2 parking blocks today. I went and picked them up
Seal Masters,
in Richmond.
who's that? Okay,
We're calling it.
we need more.
Well, he's going to look in and see what kind of pricing they can get for the
Okay.
parking blocks, so he's supposed to get back with me, I would assume probably next week. But he's donated 2 that they had sitting in there, brand new ones, just, that takes away 2 out of the 12 that we needed, I think.
I don't know.
Well,
Oh,
you
you
just
got the
gonna
picture
do-
down there.
What?
You got the picture. The one
I
in
know
the
the
building right
picture.
there?
It's gonna change a little bit, so.
Yeah, it's not set in stone. We're supposed to revisit it once it gets laid out, the way they think it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Remember that?
But he donated 2, so no one recognized him for donating 2, and they're willing to look into whatever pricing for the parking lot, so,
That'll work. We need to keep moving forward with that.
yeah.
I was asked by the fire chief last night where we were at with the curbs, so I talked to David today.
Yeah, David said he's gonna make sure everything's painted and get the signs up, so,
Do what?
paint the curb, get the signs up, so
Be for fire lanes.
there'll be no parking.
It'll have to be fire lanes.
Well,
Because
no.
that's per Indiana High Code as far as them being marked, and the reason they're being changed is because of the Indiana code being for
This is
fire.
not my thing, this is what I'm just
Is
telling
that
you.
not right?
I'd have to go back and look at it all. But I think it was just a no parking, cause like out front's a no parking, correct?
No, it was a fire.
It was, but I think it just said no parking.
I don't
Before.
remember
I
what
can't
it
remember.
exactly said.
But the reason for
Right.
doing it is because of the Indiana IC code that you guys wanted to bring up, that had to do with fire lanes and no parking there. And that there is, I mean, as far as it being marked for,
However it's marked and whatever, it needs to be to where if it's going to be enforced, I gotta be enforced.
yeah.
Right.
Whether
But I
it's-
mean, as far as we talked about, as far as having a place for those residents that we're displacing, that's
That's why we're working on that back
right.
there.
So nothing can be done until, you can't just turn around and displace them, cause there was a,
It's not me. So,
I'm just talking in general as far
Okay.
as, I just haven't been, I won't look at you, sorry.
Quit standing in the door, Gary.
Look at the
Turn
wall.
around, Gary, turn around. Well, I mean, that was something that was discussed before we did anything, that we weren't gonna displace them, because there was a previous agreement with the old fire chief that nothing was gonna be changed, that they were gonna be allowed to park there on that side of it, so
And I think
I
that-
agree that we are going to make it no parking back there, but yet we needed to make sure that we had places for those residents
What has
that you're displacing.
prompted that change from the old fire chief to the new is the trucks have doubled in size back there.
And the meeting that we had that the Nestors was here, Mara told them that they have no stand. There's no, cause I asked her, cause I've had enough phone calls and questions about it, is there anything like you'd call a grandfather clause as far as the ones that already lived there before we change it? And she said no. If you guys pass this ordinance and you put up the signs and paint the curbs, that's it. You don't have to give them a grace period, you don't, that's.
Which I
you
mean,
guys passed the
regardless
Ordinance.
if the parking blocks and
But
it's
that's what
painted.
Mara said, because I wanted to get the legal, her to state it, so that way the Nestors were right there and heard her say it, so that way they couldn't say, you know, that's illegal, you guys can't do that.
I don't remember that, but I'll have to look back through it. I'll take you for your word on it, but I'll look.
I think, I'd have to look at what month it is, but I have all this year's recordings still on my phone, so.
Gary, do you remember what that was? What month that was? Cause we actually found it in the minutes.
June, July, or August. It was in the summer.
Yeah, I think it was July,
July.
I think it was July.
I don't know. It probably was, cause that was the month that you guys wanted to mess up a lot of stuff.
But regardless, I mean,
Don't mess up anything.
even if we paint it, they know that there's all that gravel that they can park in. There's a trailer that,
I'm going to address that once that's gonna be addressed.
Yeah,
Because
please,
if that vehicle was removed from the backside, then you could easily park back there.
What's that?
The vehicle in the backside. On the backside of the property.
Oh, on
he
the,
could push the trailer there.
Yeah. You can put it right there in the side yard. You can put it right there in the side. It's not that big.
but, okay. The dump truck, Walker called me,
yesterday.
was it yesterday?
Yeah.
And he
Almost
stopped,
got runned over.
set the parking brake, and it failed, and almost ran him over.
They're working on it right now.
And he called me and asked me to take it somewhere to get it fixed, and I said, absolutely, go get it fixed. No ifs, ands, or buts about that,
And I agree.
so.
So did Cecil.
I did.
So, while we had it there, we had them go ahead and do it clutch assessment the last time, when David had it in there. You got a quote up there for it, because they did a,
Cecil has it.
What are you looking for?
There's only
That
one.
estimate that he has.
Oh, is that the only one?
no, there's one in each one.
Yeah.
But, at some point, this is what we're looking at, that have to get fixed, because it's starting to cause issues, especially with how much we have to ride it, with doing leaf pickup.
That would be like the utility truck, you need to get what's on A and B to get.
I
that.
know, but this was more of a,
Let you know that this is
this
coming.
is something that's coming, and we need to kinda be prepared, so that way if we call one day and say, hey, it's practically completely going
Wait
out.
a minute,
it'll be
this says a 2000 F550.
Yeah, that's what that
Yeah,
is.
that's the dump truck.
Isn't it a 7.3 or is it a 6.8? It says
It's
V-
got the 7.3 in
It
it,
says,
the motor
it
is
says a
different.
V10,
What is
6.8 liter.
It's,
I thought it was a 99, or, maybe.
It is a 2000, but
Yeah.
it's got the 7.3 in it, but regardless.
yeah, whatever, I ain't too worried about it, as long
Well, there's a
as,
difference between a V10 clutch and a diesel clutch.
but that's just what we're,
But yes, get some more, get the other two quotes.
yeah, but we wanted to go ahead and just have that made aware, so that way you guys knew about it. To update you guys, he called the place that fixed the gazebo, they said they were having a different guy call him to set up a time. supposedly he's supposed to call David back sometime this week. And that was at like 2:00. I asked him today and he texted me before the meeting and said that he was still waiting on the guy to call and set up for when they're gonna fix the gazebo this week. So hopefully Thursday, Friday.
While we're on that, the Fountain City Forward, is that what they're called?
Mhm.
They're doing a holiday tree lighting or whatever, is that?
It's called Hometown Holiday,
That
and it's
too?
December 7th
That's
at
Saturday.
6:30 at the park.
And my plan was, if we can get the gazebo fixed, is to kind of do a dedication of our memorial bricks and the gazebo, what we've been working on for 5 years, 6 years.
About that.
To get this done.
8 years.
It's been a while.
No, I've been here 8 years, so it's been about 5.
So that's kind of my plan. I mean, if we can find out when they will get that done, so we can make sure that's a go.
Now, as far as structurally, the base and the surround is okay, it's just there's a hole in the roof, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think
you
so.
could probably
Yeah,
you
still
can-
do
I
it.
mean, yeah, we could probably still do
It
it.
can be walked on as far as on that side of it,
Yeah, you
so.
could still do it, whether they
And
have.
Yeah.
a
like I
roof
said, we
fixed or not.
redid the bricks and everything, so that way they look a lot better. I think David,
I kind of seen a far away picture of them.
okay, yeah, I was getting ready to say, he'd been taking pictures and sending them out. I thought he
I haven't
said,
stopped by. I need to just stop by there,
but it looks a lot better. We did get the one brick back
Fixed,
from Chuck Powell, that got fixed, that had a typo.
I'll let
So-
Candy know.
David is talking about trying to get that put in tomorrow.
So yeah, I mean, if you guys would like to come, would join me down there Saturday evening,
We're not holding hands, are we?
you can.
I'm
I'd
already,
say-
I can't make it, I'm not real happy about it. I planned on going to the hometown Christmas, but my dad decided to have their Christmas on the 7th, so
Skip
So I'd say,
I'll be
What?
at my dad's
I
house.
said skip it.
Yeah,
I would say 6:30. We can plan on that also. I mean, we can get with Angie.
Cause what time was their festival?
6:30.
6:30 is what time it starts.
So I mean, we can push ours back to 7 if she'll.
Well, I'm sure you could just yell and say, "Everybody over here."
I'd be happy with it.
So I mean, I think that we need to do that. Because I know there's a lot of people that have donated a lot of money to that, and I've gotten phone calls wanting to know what's going on, why it's not done, so. I think we need to do that this weekend while they're doing theirs, and there's gonna be a crowd down there, so.
Yeah,
That's nice. Leaf pickup, he's got a couple piles left, obviously with dump truck being back in the shop. It's gonna slow him down a little bit, he's just gonna try and get out, either with a skid steer or something, just get the rest of the leaves, just try and start picking them up and getting them brought out. Pump at the school lift station's supposed to be, it just came into Cooley today. They said that they would have us on the schedule before December 13th. Obviously, the dump truck, yeah, we already did that. We did it at multiple times, all right? We were looking at things, voted on updates. And then uniforms, we've talked with Trina and stuff. We wanted to talk to you guys about getting rid of the uniforms and just going back to, just the allowance. Kind of talked about it with a couple of you. Jesse, which is the guy that goes for Centos, we said something to him today, and he said that he would let us know on Monday whether or not we were able to. He'd just look at the contract for us and say whether or not we could opt out, or if we have to wait so long, or what would happen. So, helped you out a little bit, but obviously you still have to make that phone call afterwards.
I would say, but, I mean, cause how long was that contract, do you remember? Is it yearly or?
I think they're a 2-year contract, but they let us, when we changed it before, we couldn't just completely get rid of everything because of the contract, but they let us change the terms of the contract. So that's what
And
the
that was
driver's
only-
gonna look into, if we can change the terms and when the contract we're under is up. left
Guess
side.
once you figure that all out, just bring it back in January. We'll go from there.
I'll let him know. That's everything that we got.
I have nothing. Carrie, do you have anything else?
Carrie,
He's
Do
not
you have
reading his
anything else?
report.
Don't read it. Do you have anything you need to talk about?
Yeah,
you don't have to read it, but do you have anything else you
No,
gotta
I
talk
already
about?
mentioned what I need to
yeah,
mention.
about the
Okay.
Explorer, getting it in there, getting it looked at.
Yeah, I've already mentioned everything.
Okay.
You're good.
Other than that, visitors forum,
Didn't you really need to say that?
it's on my agenda,
Yep,
so yes. Can I get a motion to approve claims and payments?
make a motion to approve claims and payment,
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
make a motion to adjourn,
Aye. We'll ask for that. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Steve said second.
Did you?
Yeah.
You both said it at the same time.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, boy.
Oh,